Most TikTok Shop affiliates are playing checkers while the top 1% plus are playing chess. And the funny thing is, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, achieving consistent 10K plus monthly income puts you in the top 5% of earners in most markets. And so when it comes to TikTok Shop specifically, I'd argue that the percentage is even smaller. Maybe 1 to 2% of affiliates are actually making serious life-changing money consistently. And the problem is, most affiliates don't know what they're doing. They're following outdated strategies or just basic tactics that everybody already knows. Use this hook, do this. So even a lot of the gurus in this space, selling courses while making more money from the courses than actually from doing TikTok Shop themselves, right? So here's what I've noticed after making over $400,000 in affiliate commission myself, basically 3 million plus GMV at this point and coaching dozens of other affiliates who are now hitting consistent 5-figure and even multi-5-figure months. So the difference is not talent, luck, or necessarily even the products that you choose. It's how you actually think. So I know a lot of that sounds like internet nonsense, but it is the truth, right? And in fact, I was just on a call and was talking to one of my students yesterday who did 10K last month in May. Ironically, the breakthrough wasn't necessarily like a new product or a new hook. It was just completely changing how they approached every single decision, right? So most people, they treat TikTok Shop like they're buying lottery tickets. Like, oh, one of them's gonna work, just hoping something goes viral. Meanwhile, the top earners like myself, even my grandma, who does consistently 50K minimum plus GMV, and even one of my students, Ashley, who's on pace to do almost 40K this month while working another job and doing 10 other million things, all think about this entirely differently. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how the 1% of TikTok Shop affiliates think, make decisions, and just build a sustainable income while everyone else stays stuck following bad advice, chasing trends, and chasing seasonalities and things that don't work. So if you're new here, my name is Kade Wiley. I help part-time and also full-time TikTok Shop affiliates build consistent 5-figure, multi-5-figure monthly income. So if you're already subscribed, welcome back. If not, let's dive in. So to help paint this picture for you on TikTok Shop and what it takes to get to the next level, I'm going to give you 2 real examples that have actually happened in the past couple months. So oftentimes with TikTok Shop, it's not just the decisions that you make, it's the decisions that you're avoiding and going to the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing that can make you a life-changing amount of money. And what most people don't realize is, especially as you're trying to get to these upper levels, every single decision matters. Every single decision you make, from what kind of video that you're making to when should you switch products, right? These are all going to compound over time. So I'm going to give you 2 real situations of where I've helped 2 affiliate students that I work with almost make decisions that could have costed and would have costed them tens of thousands of dollars. And that's a quantifiable amount, and I'll explain why here in a second. So again, it comes down to the decisions that you avoid yourself from making by using data-driven processes. This is something you get better at over time. And again, not to just make this a full picture, but this is a lot of things I focus on with people that I work with, is right, because you only get better at making these decisions from over time, right? You just get better at this. You have access to more data. You have made more decisions. You can avoid some of these wrong mistakes that will cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So let me give you 2 real examples. The first one being, again, I've already talked a lot about Ashley. If you haven't seen her interview, her first full month working with me, she did like $25,000. And in fact, this month at the time of recording, she's about to do almost $40,000 on TikTok Shop herself. So anyways, this was the first month or so when I started working with her, right? She was doing the hope and pray method. She was posting all kinds of products, no rhyme or reason. We're posting 30 plus videos a day, being very mentally drained. And there was a specific product on her page. So one of the first things that I do when I work with people is, hey, let's get a plan for your specific account and look at what you've already done, right? Is there something that you were posting, you were doing well, or maybe I saw a sign of life with something that can help you spark that back and get some momentum on your account again. There's one specific product that I saw on her page. I was like, well, what are your sales on that? And she told me, and I was like, okay, well, those are pretty good numbers. I took a look at the Kade chart, and the numbers actually look pretty good. So I said, okay, let's go back to that product and see what happens. And she, at the time, was very hesitant on going back to that product. Again, I'm not saying that I know everything, but again, I have access to 15 plus months of data, as well as data from working with a ton of other people. So you want to try to apply the best decisions that give you the statistically highest probable outcome, right? Again, almost like a casino. You want to stack the odds in your favor, right? So I had her get back on that product. And what do you know? Still to this day, at the time of recording in June, that has been her top product, where she has made, multiple tens of thousands of dollars by going back to that product. Of course, this is a hypothetical situation. You never truly know. Maybe she would have gone back to it. But again, that decision alone, if she had switched to another product might have costed her tens of thousands of dollars because she wouldn't have been back on that product. So again, that goes back to the concept of the top 1% affiliates are very aware of the small things, because if you're not paying attention to the data and the small things as to what's happening with your account, you would have never seen that stuff that could potentially have made you an extra tens of thousands of dollars, like this situation where that one product is still her top product to this day, and she has made multiple tens of thousands of dollars off of one product over the span of many, many months. One of the biggest things that I love talking about with my mentorship and the people that I work with is that this exact mindset shift from amateur to making sound strategic decisions. So you can find a link in the description where I deep dive into a lot of these strategies during weekly one-on-one calls with you individually and also group coaching calls. It is genuinely for serious affiliates who want to stop playing amateur hour and start actually building a real business that generates consistent income while arguably building probably the most valuable skill you can ever have right now. So people join to master the systems that separate the top 1% from everyone else, from data analysis to building relationships with brand to scaling strategies that actually work long term without you completely burning out because you're working 10 plus hours a day. Again, the link is in the description if you want to get to that next level on TikTok Shop and your entire approach. So anyways, back to thinking like the 1% on TikTok Shop. And the second story, I want to tell you about the time of another specific person that I was working. When he first started with me, he was struggling, right? So he was someone who got to a point of multiple thousands of dollars in a month, but was having trouble getting back to where he was, getting back to that 10K plus per month level. So again, the problem stems from doing the hope and pray method, where you have no rhyme or reason behind what you're doing. All you're doing is crossing your fingers and hoping the TikTok algorithm helps you out. So that's a big problem. So besides that fact, right, there's one specific product that he was doing fairly well with, right, over the past couple months, and now it was starting to die out. So I had him read all of the data off of that one specific product. So he was looking at all the views, all of the sales, all these other things, a combination of things to figure out, hey, should I stick with this product? And at the time he was like, hey, this is dying off. I really don't know if I should stick with it. And I said, the math seems to be working out and the odds seem to be in your favor that this will probably work out based on a certain number of criteria that I talk about with everybody that I work with. So in this situation, right, he got back to posting this product, and what do you know, in the month of May, this was his top product. And the funniest part is he actually messaged me when we were having a conversation saying, I'm actually at the beach right now. I'm not putting in any work and I'm still doing $300 days. And a lot of those numbers were on that product that he was in the beginning unsure of if he wanted to stick with it. So again, that's only something that you get better at over time, is making these small decisions. And one small decision can either make or break your entire year on TikTok Shop, right? That product went on to make him an extra $10,000 and even more, counting now, $10,000 just in a single month. So imagine if you would have switched off that product and moved to something else. So again, that goes into a hypothetical situation of, oh, could he have made more on something else? Yes, potentially. But that all goes back to the message of all of these top 1% affiliates get very good at making these important decisions, right? So that's the biggest difference between 1, 2, 3K a month and 10K per month. 20K per month is avoiding a lot of these pitfalls and having the right decisions in place so that you are maximizing the winners that you have when they're right in front of your face. So these are the biggest mental shifts that oftentimes separate the top 1% of creators on TikTok Shop from everybody else who stays stuck at amateur hour and is just going to post more. Changing your mindset is free, but right, actually implementing these systems and strategies in your actual TikTok Shop business, that's where most people need help. So if you do want to work directly with me and to actually make this complete mental shift and build the systems that turn this into a real income and also consistent, you can click the first link in the description to apply for that. We'll get on a call with me. I'll review exactly kind of where you're at right now, and I'll show you the specific changes you need to make to start thinking and operating and actually earning like the top 1% earners on the platform. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the other videos on how to actually build real income on TikTok, and I will see you in the next video.